This will be the one, moves up to the outside gate. We're set to go. Starter Brad Richardson about to switch on the red light. Bundaberg Rum Country Music Race Day. They're off on the first. And near the inside, Expected began quite well, but hasn't got the speed to match Super Dark and Manazzi, their natural front runners. Sporting Chance navigating into fourth, and this will be the one sailing forward 3 and 4 wide as they sweep around the first bend. The second half of the field included Northern Decree, who's a bit wide around Toes on the Nose. Yeti Moves and Chassagne settles in last position. They've gone through the first 400 metres. They travel by the 1200. They sort their spots out, and Manazzi's in control. Super Duck can't lead today. This will be the one, is third and 3 wide, but the jock is pushing on. They're both Expected in fourth and Sporting Chance in fifth. They're securing excellent runs mid-race, following the speed trio. 2 lengths away then came Yeti Moves inside of Toes on the Nose. Northern Decree spots them a start about 6 off them at the halfway mark, and 1 behind them was Chassagne. They run down the side, 700 left to Rana, and Manazzi the leader by a long neck too. This will be the one on the outside, Expected. Closest he's been for a long time. He's third on the fence, getting a dream runner. Super Duck in fourth. The first 1,000 metres in 61.38, a genuine gallop. Yeti Moves navigating into a path. The Sporting Chance lost a length or two coming to the turn and being pushed along, being worked along to try and improve its lot. Chassagne, Toes on the Nose, and Northern Decree. It's no motherless last. Manazzi below the 300 metres went for home from Expected. This will be the one, Yeti Moves. Super Duck down the outside. Northern Decree seemed to be too far back. Manazzi in front. Yeti Moves knuckling down to the task strongly. Manazzi the inside. Yeti Moves the outside. Yeti Moves getting the upper hand. Pulled away at 1. Yeti Moves beat home Manazzi. Sporting Chance on Chassagne for the minor spot. Super Duck not too far away. Expected every possible. Then Toes on the Nose. Northern Decree never got into it. And this will be the one out towards the tail in what was a bunch finish.
2, 7, 3 and 4, Yet He Moves defies a drift and gets the job done for Chris Waller, and Kyle Wilson-Taylor take a bow. That is a fantastic ride from one of Queensland's best at the moment. He settled a couple of pairs back on the fence, and when he saw that Sporting Chance under Taylor Marshall wasn't quite working into the race and was sitting there just off the fence, he was more than happy to push his way through. He got a lovely run in transit, got off heels at the right time, and KWT has produced a pearler to boot home the first winner this afternoon, paying $8 fixed on the QOP. Will pay slightly better across the tote board after being a big drifter in those markets in the last couple of minutes. It's defeated home Manazzi for Stewie Kendrick, who's battled on really bravely after that runner-up position in the Gympie Cup. He's come to town and performed well. In regards to the heavily backed favourite Sporting Chance, I think if Taylor Marshall potentially had his time once again, we know this horse does not have a turn of foot, and coming around the turn, as David Fowler mentioned during the call, he lost about a length or two.
Yeah, Lofty's with me, Brett Killian. Yeti Moves. He's back for a good campaign, Lofty.
Yeah, he just travelled a bit strong over 1800 second up, so he just came back to the mile and he got a good speed, and he got a ride that, they should show that video at apprentice school, because they don't come any better than that.
Yeah, well, he drew the outside gate. Tell us about what he did.
We just wanted to go, mid to back, but he just nagged him, got over the fence, picked up a couple of lengths. All of a sudden he was on one of the main horses back, Expectant. Followed it, got out before the turn, pushed into the clear, and the ride won the race, basically.
Yeah, he certainly enjoyed being ridden that way. Chris has got him out over a lot further in the past, but do you think this might be his go?
I think he likes that better speed on. You see he travelled a lot nicer today, and I think he will get 1800 in a big field, but I think a mile to 1800 is perfect.
Well done.
Thanks.
Lofty there, looking after Chris's team at the Gold Coast. Here's Kyle, and Lofty's just given you a big rap. Tell us about the ride there on Yeti Moves.
Yeah, it worked out really good. It's a master stroke by Chris to bring him back to the mile. He was a bit keen last time, and we were able just to take our medicine, go back to the fence, and they went a really good clip. So it enabled him to get into a good rhythm, and just had to be a little bit aggressive coming to the corner to get some clear running. But lucky I was on a brave horse that worked with me to do that.
Yeah, he looked a big chance coming towards the bend. Is that when you started to feel a bit confident?
I was confident mid-race. He was just able to flow the whole way. I want to give a shout out to his strapper Jake. He works for Chris and he does a terrific job looking after these horses. He can be a bit of a handful pre and post-race, but he does a terrific job.
And did the track feel nice?
It's perfect.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Kyle Wilson-Taylor, Chris Waller combining in the opening event at Doomben.
Age of Kings getting a little edgy in barrier 2. All set, they're off and racing now. And they jumped at an even line. The right way on the inside just had to be pushed along and given a squeeze to keep out Age of Kings early. Just Flying coming across to be third in Coda, fourth away. There's the favourite, Soul of Spain, settling fifth on the rail, and about 3 or 4 to Kettle Hill in last position. No, the right way's not going to lead today. It's going to be Age of Kings in those cerise colours. Goes to the mile and scoots away. Leads the right way, taking cover, although it's inclined to over race, and the jockey might have a retake for the lead. Not at this point, though. 3 away, Just Flying in third. The speed is good. Then came Soul of Spain inside of Encoda, and still 2.5 to Kettle Hill last of the 6. They've left the 1400 metre pole astern, and they turn to the back straight, and Age of Kings now steadies the tempo. Leads the right way in second. Leads it by a length and a half. A length and a half away third, Just Flying. Soul of Spain fourth the fence. 1 Encoda and 1 Kettle Hill now tacking on about 5 off the lead. They certainly have dropped anchor as they're midway down the back straight to approach the 1,000 metres, and Age of Kings getting a mid-race breather. So much so the right way is starting to race a little ungenerously, and Just Flying, the jock not suited with that tempo either, goes up 3 wide as the right way boots up in the centre, so again the pace goes on. A chopping and changing tempo. Age of Kings into the half-mile bend, leading the right way, 3 wide, Just Flying. Soul of Spain, when all that's happening up front, is just sitting there, smiling happily in fourth position. The jockey at least is. Then Encoda and Kettle Hill. Down below the 600 metres, the first split, 1:28.67. This trio still at it. Age of Kings, the right way under pressure. So is Just Flying. Now Soul of Spain pulls to the outside. Encoda comes deep, but in contrast, Kettle Hill sticks to the inside. Fully homeward bound, Age of Kings below the 300 metres, giving the favourite backers a bit of pain, but now Soul of Spain, he starts to put in strongly and comes after Age of King. They've got 100 to go. There goes the favourite, shoots away Soul of Spain, and he is home. Soul of Spain, hands and heels, an ever widening margin. Been Age of Kings who ran a cheeky race. Kettle Hill up for third, then Just Flying. Encoda, the market knew with it, didn't run a shot today, and the right way below its best out towards the tail in 2.92.
He's a nice horse. He is a very, very nice horse on the up. I think Tim Ryan might be chucking him in a few futures markets. If not this preparation in spring or later in Melbourne, we might see him in a few futures markets for the autumn at least. He is a very nice young 5-year-old on the up, or maybe not young, but he's still lightly raced. He's had the 12 starts, make that 13 for the 4th victory of his career today, and that makes it 3 on the bounce as well for Chris Waller. Yes, they put it on for him. Yes, he was a heavily back favourite in a fairly weak field compared to what he would have to face down south, but he has toyed with them, and he's just warmed up late through the line under the light weight, and he's got the job done under Benny Thompson as Chris Waller walks away with a race-to-race double at least to kick off the card this afternoon. Connections, they paid €160,000 for him overseas in 2023, and just looking off that victory today, it might be money very, very well spent, because Soul of Spain, the 5-year-old gelding, has toyed with his opposition this afternoon.
That was well and truly knocked off. Lofty for the second time today. Congratulations to Team Waller. What did you make of that guy?
I didn't see the 340. Must have been there for 10 seconds.
Oh, no, it was there for a while.
Okay. Yeah, he's a pretty good horse. I'd say Chris will take him back down south now because he's got better things in store.
We've got a Doomben Cup coming up in 3 weeks. Can you talk to him about that?
Oh, geez, I'd have to be the master of persuasion for that.
We'd like to keep him here. He's a good horse.
I'd like to keep him here too, but I don't think I'll be that lucky. No, he'll go down, and there's group races in store for him. He could end up easily in a race like the Metropolitan or something like that.
Before coming over here, he had 8 starts in Ireland, and his last run before he came, I think it was it 3,300 metres?
Yeah, it was. So, it's quite good that he's been able to adapt and show the turn of foot that he does. Once he balances up and hits top speed, it's pretty good.
34.22, 22.88. They're pretty impressive splits, aren't they?
Yeah, like I said, he's a good horse. He's well above average.
Age of Kings has gone a little bit better.
Yeah, we gave the option to Jake to lead if he didn't settle, and he seemed to appreciate that. He got a few cheap sectionals there, and he ran well.
By the way, we're getting a good look at this guy come back, Age of Kings, Soul of Spain. What's he like around the stables, Lofty? You've had him there at the coast for a little while?
Yeah, had him here this prep. Just lovely horse, beautiful nature. lovely horse to look at in the yard, shiny, black. No, he's a ripper.
Okay, well done.
Thanks.
All right, so Chris Waller with the first two winners. Yet he moves, and now Soul of Spain, ridden by Ben Thompson. He did only have 52.5, and as Brodie said, the race was put on for him. It seemed as though Age of Kings got into the back straight and tried to walk them, and what that did was incite a bit of interest from the right away, was over racing, so he went forward and Just Flying got on his bike, and all of a sudden the speed came on, and that played into Ben Thompson's hands on Soul of Spain. He was sitting pretty. Age of Kings gave a good kick till about the 100 metres mark, but you could see Soul of Spain clearly had his measure. Well, Ben, tell us about this guy. What do you think of him?
I tell you what, he's a lovely stayer, Maxi. He parades like a horse that's done it. I've been doing it for years. He's still relatively lightly raced. It's only his 5th start in Australia, and 3 wins and a third from 5 outings reads pretty well. The race panned out beautifully. Obviously, went to slow up down the middle stages, which just let my guy make up 3 lengths under his own accord, and the pace was on once Just Flying. Served it up to the 2 up front. He's a lovely horse.
Yeah, 34.22. Is that a bit of a surprise, that final split?
No, I imagine the time would have been pretty good after it was race on from earlier than your standard 2,000 metre event. But he just feels like a supreme stayer. Obviously, Go Racing, they're renowned for having nice horses. He's another nice one in their colours, and obviously well strapped today by Harry Carl, son of the retired great Michael Carl.
Okay, this guy gets in with a lightweight in Sydney in one of those big races. Will you put your hand up?
Absolutely, I'll be jumping up and down to stick with him.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Yes, he's put up a big margin over the final part, as we say. It wasn't a strong race, and the race was set up for him, but that's twice that we've seen this horse look terrific. At Ipswich first up, really gathering momentum late, and that's exactly what he's done here at the end of 2,020 metres. Yeah, 34.22.
Not quite ready. No light as yet. There it is now. Stand by. Racing. Canberra Legend off the inside, and Artful Girl began well with So You Are. June has early speed outside that trio. Piggyback even wider, and Celestial Fury it's the deepest runner. It was nearly a line of 6 early, so they'll have to sort themselves out. Acadian Emperor drops in behind them, then Novellis Hellfire, Connecticut, and drifting out to the tail was Oldenari. Heading down the straight the first time, Celestial, or the inside Canberra Legend, is holding the lead from June. Now Piggyback, the jock was able to tuck in and get into a spot third, basically 1 out and 1 back, and So You Are, its main betting rival, 4th the inside. So the visiting Sydney Siders are 3rd and 4th as they went by the mile. Next pair, Acadian Emperor outside of Connecticut. Celestial Fury got him one off the fence, travelling outside of Artful Girl. Then Oldenari and Novellis Hellfire, the roughie, is last around 9 off the lead. They go to the back now with 1,300 left to Rana, and Canberra Legend look the only speed of the race that's panned out that way, and it travels kindly in front. A length of margin to June in 2nd. So You Are in 3rd, Piggyback in 4th, so they're both getting good runs in the earlier middle part of the race. Next pair, Acadian Emperor outside of Connecticut. They're out by 2 to Celestial Fury, who's got 3 behind it. And they are Artful Girl, Oldenari and Novellis Hellfire. Heading down the back straight now with around 900 left to Rana. Canberra Legend runs at an even speed. June 2nd, So You Are 3rd, Piggyback 4th. All jocks content with pace and position because there's no change to the running order. Acadian Emperor's had a good run as well in 5th outside of Connecticut. They're getting away from the other quartet now. 3 to Celestial Fury being urged along by Jones. Then Artful Girl, Oldenari and Novellis Hellfire whips them in. Down below the 600 metres, the first mile in 1:39.07. Canberra Legend in front. So You Are pushing off the rail. Piggyback making its run with So You Are. Then came June, who called it a day. Acadian Emperor to the outside, and then came Connecticut. In the straight, Canberra Legend, So You Are, and Piggyback on the outside. Soon afterwards, Piggyback and So You Are ran to the lead. Acadian Emperor is still running on, and Connecticut looking for a run. Not much room there. Piggyback's got the lead from So You Are. Acadian Emperor is trying hard. They've got 50 to go. Piggyback in full flight, the leader. Hanging on, gripping on, and Piggyback won. Beat Acadian Emperor. Third over the line, So You Are, and 4th was Connecticut in a driving finish. Gaps into Artful Girl, Celestial Fury, Canberra Legend, June, Oldenari, and Novellis Hellfire whipped them in.
2, 9, 4 and 7 piggyback. That is a perfect ride by Ben Thompson. 1 out, 1 back. He got his position heading into the first turn, and she was the horse you wanted to be on for a long way. Kieran Maher defies the drift as well. $3.70, $1.60. She might be heading back down to Sydney, albeit hopefully we see a bit more of her up in Queensland, because there's plenty more wins in store if she sticks in the staying distances up here. Defeats Acadian Emperor, had it the winners back all the way down the straight, and in for third, working home late with So You Are. Had its chance in the box seat, just couldn't quite sprint, and the 7 Connecticut has run fourth. 2, 9, 4 and 7, the numbers across the line as we...
They both had their chance, and she was too good for them in the wash-up, carrying the 57.5. So a nice confidence boost win to piggyback. She's only lightly raced, 16 starts, 5 wins and 4 thirds. And she could be a candidate for the Toowoomba Cup with her rating. She can certainly stay. Just waiting for Ben to come back, and just before he catches up with the big crew of dynamic syndication owners, Ben, another nice staying prospect for the future. You had a bit of luck coming to the winning post the first time, navigating a trail.
Yeah, absolutely, Max. We had a lot of luck. I was fortunate that there was So You Are racing solely behind the leaders. There was nothing else to its inside, so I was able to safely get to position 1 out, 1 back. She was here to race. Like, she was a bit eager at stages in an early part, but once she got there, she found a nice rhythm, and especially the second half of the race, she just handled perfectly. So well placed by the team, Kieran Maher and Dynamic Syndications, and a well-deserved win. She's had her last 2 runs on heavy 10, so I'm sure she enjoyed herself on a perfect Doomben. It's good for her.
And it's been a good start to the season for you. I think that's win number 14, Metropolitan. Yeah,
it only comes with getting good stock and the good support of variety of trainers and owners. So I'm very grateful and appreciate all the opportunities I'm getting.
Okay, well done, man.
Thank you. Thanks.
Ready to break in the 4th at Doomben, running 1,200 metres. Stand by. Field of 7. Racing. Sunrays was one of the first to go. Impervious actually jumped first. Severe goes up on the inside. Now Sunrays is going forward. Statement of Truth just went with it, making it momentarily 4 wide, but it's pushing on now. Interesting tactics with these 3 leaders on settling down. Impervious in front. Sunrays comes across to be second. Severe, who didn't begin brilliantly, now has to settle for third, and Statement of Truth angles into 4th. The next is Stover outside of Wiz Kiana, and about 2 lengths away, Pink Vixen last of all. Heading down the side now, they've got 6.50 left to run. Impervious controls the pace of the middle part, reaches the halfway mark, leading Sunrays. First split 35 and 8. Severe third, Statement of Truth in 4th. Then Wisniewska followed by Exostova. It's off the bit and 2 away, Pink Vixen. Impervious has had the best of runs, but Sunrays is breathing down its neck as they turn for home. Severe's in third, then Statement of Truth, and the rest headed by Wisniewska. Impervious the inside. Sunrays, Lang getting busy on the favourite now, coming after Impervious, and they pair off stride for stride from Severe. Impervious the inside, Sunrays the outside. Impervious has got a kick, holding Sunrays. Impervious first, beat home Sunrays. Fado third, Severe or Wisniewska. Then Statement of Truth, Pink Vixen, and Exostova a clear last in 1:10.03.
Angela Jones aboard Impervious goes back-to-back for Tony Gollan and pays $2.90, $1.70 this time round. Was slightly soft in betting in the last couple of minutes, but in the last few moments just before the gates open, there was a good rush of money. She's jumped $2.90 on the tote, $3 fixed with the QOP, and Impervious has been able to hold the fence and hold off the late challenge of Sunrays, the favourite. She did have to carry 5 kilograms more than the market elect, and she was very strong, Impervious, when challenged down the straight, as called by David, providing that kick when required, and she's gone back-to-back and arguably should be undefeated this preparation. You look back to last time round, she ran second, in fact third to Sunrays, the 1,110 metres at Doomben in that Cutest Jewel Prelude at Doomben on good 3 conditions a couple of months ago, but she's overturned that defeat with a very, very strong performance this afternoon. In regards to the favourite Sunrays, heavily back, there was very much market confidence about her. We thought she might go settle in the back of the field and come down the centre of the track, but Emily Lang, she was positive on the horse. She wanted to find her spot outside the lead and was very brave battling home, and no doubt she will improve from the run. And in for third, Severe battled on bravely. And the New South Wales galloper, Wisniewska's worked home well in for fourth as well. But Impervious, Tony Gollan's down in Melbourne. He's got the Group 1 contender later on in the Moir Stakes. Maxi, so who have you got representing the stable?
Kavanagh, Cav, congratulations to Team Gollan. She just keeps on keeping on, this girl, doesn't she?
Yeah, Maxie, she's always shown a lot. And today, good alley, great ride by Ange. She had an open book to go out with, and she read the race right, and where there was a good pull in the weights between her and the top weight, and she was just a little bit stronger in the end.
Yeah, so she's had, 6 starts and never been out of the top 3, so she's been great for Strong Racing, the owners.
Yeah, no, she's been a good filly for them. A couple of our staff members are in her and everything else, and they are having a jolly good time with her at the moment.
I wonder whether she'd go to Toowoomba. I think they've changed the giddies to 1,200 metres set weight. She'd be sort of well in there.
Yeah, the 2 fillies that went around together the other day, we sort of split them up with the plans of going to Toowoomba for that 1,200 metre guinea. So this filly went around today, and the other filly will go around next week.
Well done.
Thank you.
All righty, Ange is about to come over and have a chat. Nobody knows this filly better than Ange Jones. You've got a good record on her. Take us through the race today, Ange.
Yeah, I was pretty open-minded. I knew we'd be somewhere in the first 4, but where that was, I thought we could just play it on jumping. We had the good gate, and she's a horse that's become quite versatile now, so I felt we could just ride her how she jumped and how the race played, and that ended up with us in front, and she handled it beautifully there. Probably when Sunrays came across, put a little bit of pressure on. She was a little bit keen and took a furlong to really get her in that nice rhythm. But once she did, she relaxed well enough to kick well, and I still thought Sunrays might have had the better of me at the top of the straight, but I think weight and fitness probably told a big part of it late.
So was that the key? Was it when she was able to come back underneath you after doing a bit of work, was that the key to the win? Yeah,
I think so. She's getting better and better at her racing now. She's doing everything right. Wherever you put her in the race, she's going to do things right for you.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
All right, Ange Jones, they're booting home Impervious. She combined to win on Miss Filly last start at Eagle Farm, and she wins here at Doomben.
But Kairos Louis from the low gate gets opportunities to lead or take a sit.
Here's David.
Make a Call began only fairly on the inside. Exceed Speed and Kairos Louis, the first 2 to go. They're riding the catch for Speed, and Kick It Along is firing up towards the front. Del Rico 5th away. Second Sun landing midfield and a bit deep, and then came Zahere. A few lengths away was Merchant Flyer as they turn to the back straight. Then Wowzino and Start Strutting as last of all. Heading to the back now with just over 1,200 left to run on the outside of the catch. Takes up the rollers Pacemaker. Kick It Along goes to second, and Kairos Louis drops into a handy spot third on the fence. 2 Exceed Speed in fourth. Make a Call, the favourite 5th the rail. Then Del Rico, followed by Second Sun outside of Zahere. 2.5 to Diva Cara the grey, and then Merchant Flyer. Wowzino and Start Strutting last of the 12 off the lead. Into the next bend, just over 800 left to run. The catch slows things down mid-race. Kick It Along in second. Kairos Louis third. Exceed Speed in fourth. Make a Call 5th. Del Rico 6th. That's the first half of the field. Then Second Sun outside of Zahere. Diva Cara, Merchant Flyer, and Wowzino and Start Strutting whip them in. The first split was slow, 63.82. It's going to be a sprint home, and the catch nicked off coming to the bend. Went out by about 2 to Kairos Louis. Kick It Along, drop back, then came Make a Call. Exceed Speed warming to the task. Del Rico following him up, and Second Sun down the outside. 2.50 left to run. The catch giving bookies a real thrill, but Exceed Speed is knuckling down, joining the catch in front. Exceed Speed races races to the lead. Running on gamely, Make a Call. Exceed Speed in front. He needs the post. Make a Call bursting home. Too late. Exceed Speed beat Make a Call and the catch. Then came Zahere. One was Del Rico, Kairos Louis. Then second son, Diva Cara, Zeno. Wellback Merchant Flyer with Start Strutting and Kick It Along weakened badly to run last in 1:38.12.
Outstanding call, David Fowler. Exceed Speed heads home a Tony Gollan Quinella, $5.40 and $1.50. Queensland's leading trainer when he's got the likes of Angela Jones and Benny Thompson riding for him. Punters can be confident. They polled into one as Exceed Speed got out in betting, but the first time in a mile, absolutely no worries for this galloper, albeit had everything handed to him this afternoon. They didn't roll along in front. He had the perfect sit, one out, one back by Benny Thompson, who opted to get off the fence nice and early into the first bend there and got the lovely run in transit. He was able to present at the right time at the top of the straight, and although a fast run mile, he might have got beat by the stablemate. They didn't go very quickly in front, as David mentioned. He was able to show that brilliant turn of foot that saw him extend down the straight, reel in the catch and power on by to hold off Make a Call. Very nice run once again. Tony, as soon as he gets his horses from down south, he continues to improve them, and this 5-year-old gelding, after contesting group racing early in his career for the Snowden team, he's come up to Queensland, performed well once again. He's recorded 2 victories for the Executive Race Club and just about another minor placing there. The catch, as mentioned by David's run really well. 23.20's run third. 2.10 and 1 the numbers across the line. Zar was making good ground up the fence late. Watch for that horse in a better run race, and peaking late on the run was Kairos Louis. He'll be better for that kick-off point there, Maxi. But have you got Brett with us, who Cav's got another winner to speak about this afternoon?
Yes, Exceed Speed beat him, a stablemate Make a Call. Cav, who were you cheering for over the final part?
Oh, the winner, I got a small share of it, Maxi. I got a bit excited.
I bet you did. Tell us how that came about. Was it online, a particular share?
Yeah, a share come online on English online, and I've always liked the horse since he's a baby. And I thought, oh, well, I'm not going to let this one go by, so I purchased the share.
The increase in distances, obviously the right move?
Yeah, well, there's no reason why he can't. Like, he's out of a Sea the Stars mare, so he should, on the dam side, he should get further, really. A lot of people doubt the Exceed and Excel's getting over a bit of ground, but he's a horse you've just sort of got to ride a bit quiet, get cover. And Benny seems to have the answer to it. He seems to be able to time his runs right on him. And the horse keeps on producing the goods.
We come back in better order, showing versatility, back, forward. Where to next?
Yeah, just, you never make things on race day. You let him go home, let him get through the run. I'm sure the boss has got something marked out there for him, and he'll go out for a couple of days now out to Embrook and put his head down, have a treadmill and a bit of grass, and come back in the stable later in the week.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. Craig Kavanagh with a share in the winner there, Exceed Speed. And here's Ben for the third time today. Soul of Spain, piggyback, and now Exceed Speed. Take us through that race.
It worked out fantastically. Maxie, he was up to the mile for the first time. He's got a great foundation and he's got a decent number of races under his belt, but I didn't have any concerns. Obviously, Tony's such an astute trainer, and I was no doubt he felt it was the right time to step him up in trip, and he nailed it today. He jumped away great. We were able to control things where we were, and he's a horse that does really enjoy chasing those in front of him. So when he hit the front at about the 150, I thought, I knew I'd be fending off the stablemate, but he stayed to the task well and ran at the mile strong.
And does he drop the bit for you? Could he go further? Cav's talking about the dam line and see the stars. So will he go further? He
potentially does everything right at the moment, and he conserves energy really well. He doesn't overdo things, and obviously he's jumped really well his last 2 starts. So if he makes that a habit, it's obviously there's no better pattern than racing on the pace, and he's doing that and conserving energy and giving a good kick. So if you see Tony Gollan and his team step him up in trip again, I wouldn't have any concerns.
Well done.
Thank you.
Huge crowd here at Doomben, weather delightful. Here we go, there's the light. Racing Shellstein was one of the last out. Lady Lucifer out wide has the best early speed. More Love going forward. Mostro not too far away with Voracious and Just Precious. After the average start, Shellstein is now burrowing through to be about 6-1 off the fence. Then 4 Ace, followed by Jemima El Pelage, Flywheel, Jopper Lane. Ludovisi drifting well back with Holy Flash, American Fireball and Boomshot as last of all. They sort themselves out. 900 left to run. Lady Lucifer on the inside leads Mostro by a neck. Racing 3 deep, Just Precious. 4th one off the rail, More Love and 4 Ace on the fence. Now Shellstein parked just behind that trio. Then came Voracious, Flywheel, Jemima El Pelage, Jopper Lane, and the tail enders included Holy Flash, Ludovisi, American Fireball and Boomshot. The first 750, 45.06, not overly fast. Shellstein had some traffic coming to the turn. Meanwhile, Lady Lucifer's had a good run. Leads from Mostro, Shake It Up. Just Precious always off the track. Then came 4 Ace. Shellstein trying to get into the clear, but there's no room. Then came Flywheel, and Voracious was out wider, but Lady Lucifer, it kicked away with might be a winning break. Shellstein finally getting out. It'll be far too late, and Lady Lucifer sprinting well from Flywheel and Shellstein, and Lady Lucifer pinched it all away and beat home Flywheel. Shellstein in bad traffic in the early part of the straight. Then came Ludovisi, followed by Just Precious, Boomshot, More Love, Holy Flash, Jopper Lane, Voracious in that bunch. Then American Fireball, 4 Ace, Jemima El Pelage, and last over the line was Mostro in 1:19 and 56.
The wide gate on paper looked a big worry for Lady Lucifer, but Emily Lang, last season's leading apprentice, has sent it straight to the front, and she has dominated all the way for David Van Dyke, paying $14.60 and $3.80. Lady Lucifer, after a couple of disappointing runs in easier company, she was beaten as a short price favourite there in midweek grade. Her last couple of starts, especially at Ipswich, she was bitterly disappointing, but she has bounced back to great form this afternoon, dominating all the way and recording a very, very comfortable margin as well, pinching a couple of lengths on Flywheel, who did its best work late under on the fence. Cole Wilson-Taylor did not go around a horse there at all under Flywheel, and at $6.70, if someone's got a piece of the Quinella or the trifecta, it should pay extremely well. Shellstein, well, David summed it up perfectly. Had no luck at all throughout the race. Didn't get out the gates very quickly. Held up at critical stages, but didn't quite ping when it did get out. However, the bird had flown, and it was all about Lady Lucifer going on to dominate this afternoon and pulls up another career victory for the David Van Dyke stable. That is win number 3 at start number 9, and as mentioned, defeated at $2.25 and $2.70 its last 2 starts. Maxie, maybe David can give us an indication of what changed potentially in the last couple of weeks to see her produce a performance like that.
Yes, she was in dashing form today, David. You haven't had a lot of luck with draws today, but that one didn't matter.
No, it didn't, and it's probably the most indecisive we've ever been with a pre-race plan. 1 minute we were going to look for cover, and the next we were going forward, and actually, full marks to Emily. She said, I don't think this horse likes being around other horses. I've watched all her replays. Well, she's not wrong. She didn't want to be anywhere near him turning for home.
What about the first 2 runs back from a spell? Was that the case? Horses around her? Because she did start well back favourite.
Yeah, she did, and as Emily identified, she copped a check there when she was going for a run last start, and she said, I reckon it put her off her game. So, and she also mentioned when she won, I think it was a maiden, she was 3 deep the trip at the Sunny Coast. So, she's thought about all that before she came and hopped on the horse, and as I say, full marks to her, and full marks to the horse. It was a terrific win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to you, David. Well, we'll get a quick word with Emily. She's just doing her post-race with the on-track racing people, and these are their colours. You can't miss them. Emily, David was putting the kudos onto you. You said you did your homework when you watched her replays.
Yeah, I've had a sit on her before at Eagle Farm, and I just really didn't feel like she was comfortable last time I rode her in amongst horses, and just where we drew, we're either going right back to last or going forward, or just sort of chance our hand at being caught 3 wide. So she began really well. I was able to sort of roll across and cross her inside runners, and I think when I got there, we were able to sort of give her a little bit of a breather up in trip today, and I was quite impressed with when I gave her the slap up down the shoulder. She just gave me a really good feeling, and you could tell her that once she got onto that fresh leg, she was going to take a good one to beat her.
Well done.
Thank you.
There she is, Emily Lang, giving us a a post-race of Lady Lucifer going all the way there, and that was the key, wasn't it? She was able to get to the lead and then back it off, and there was dramas with a lot of other horses in the race. We saw Hellstein miss the kick, then get up into a nice spot, and then a couple over racing when the tempo did reduce halfway down the back. But kudos to the winner. She went all the way there. They got the tactics spot on.
Ready to jump, there's the light. 1,200 metres the distance. Racing. Bunker Hut began reasonably well on the inside. First to go was Hold On Honey. Street Chase came out burning. Second away, Bunker Hut now third. Then Goldsborough, followed by Space Track and Nashira. Apwit's End and Kabling dropped away 2 lengths last. That's the first call. 8.50 left to Rana. Hold On Honey expected in the lead, but Street Chase right there on his outside. Goldsborough follows that pair in third. 1 away, Bunker Hut. The favourite is lying fourth on the rail. A length behind him, Space Tracker. 1 length Apwit's End. 3/4 Nashira and a length away, Kabling last, 6 lengths off the lead. They reach the 600 metres, they're halfway home, and the first split fairly comfortable for this grade, 35.51. Hold On Honey held together, came to the turn, leading Street Chase by a neck. Bunker Hut third, McMurray waits on a run, then Goldsborough, Space Tracker, Apwit's End, Kabling and Nashira. In the straight, 300 left to Rana. Hold On Honey leads away, Street Chase under pressure. Bunker Hut coming away from the rail, he shoulders into the clear, he's got a bit of work to do, and down the outside was Goldsborough. Hold On Honey getting tired now. Here's Bunker Hut, slowly but surely, heading top gear, going to the lead. Favourite home, Doomben. Favourite home. Bunker Hut, Hold On Honey. Space Tracker up for third. Then Apwit's End, followed by, at the head of the others was Kabling. Street Chase dropped out, then Goldsborough, and Nashira last home.
That's as close as we're going to get from a Maxi fist pump. He's usually a very calm man, but there was a little cheer when Bunker Hut got out at the 300 or the 250, and Jace let the favourite extend. He was heavily backed. 2 fantastic runs on wet ground there in Sydney at Rose Hill, both behind Cloudland. He's a horse that likes to get his feet on top of the ground, and he's extended strongly like the market expected. He looked a good thing on paper, and Jace McMurray just had to edge Goldsborough out of the way at the top of the straight. He took a while to pick up, but he's picked up nonetheless. He's been able to power past the leader, Hold On Honey, who had every single chance in front, but there's only eyes for one horse this afternoon and one horse going forward as well. Bunker Hut's run a ripper at $2.10 and money back to take out race number 7 at Doomben and land one of the bigger plonks we've so far today, at least here in Brisbane. Hold On Honey ran well. It's been going okay this preparation without being its best, but with Corey Sutherland's claim, was able to roll forward, dictate the race to itself, and was able to hold on to second. Space Tracker, heavily backed, has worked through the pack in for third. No doubt that horse will improve in time for Annabelle and Rob Archibald as we see the vision down the straight. Was just in restricted room at a couple of key stages, but it worked home well, and it looks like Apwit's End might have just held on to fourth potentially, with Kabling also in the photo with Street Chase, but I think that the toppy Apwit's End will hold on to fourth. In regards to Street Chase, there was a lot of knocks on the trials, on the jump outs. We weren't too sure what to expect. The market suggested a good forward performance, but Maxi Goldsborough just made it work early to work outside the lead alongside Hold On Honey, but that allowed Bunker Hut in the box seat to get the lovely run in transit, and it was over as soon as Jace McMurray let the gelding extend.
Yes, however, Hold On Honey did give a good kick. You often see that here at Doomben. They can really dash down the hill there, and he had to dig deep, Bunker Hut, but the right result in the wash-up. We might just get a quick word from Lee. That was a good, tough performance by Bunker Hut today.
Yeah, it was, Michael. He looked pretty well placed, back into that grade, 90 grade, and then the claim as well. He was well placed today.
Looks like he's a cool dude, the way he was walking around the yard. How's he been down at the coast?
Yeah, no, he's a very nice horse. He's no fuss horse, so he doesn't like people touching him and that. So he just got off the float and we left him alone. And fortunately, I haven't undone all his good work.
Do you think Michael might leave him here? The week was on in a few weeks.
No, he's booked to go back. We could have a talk about that because we're probably running Coda in the Toowoomba Cup, but we'll have a talk about that because there is a bit of prize money in that. Yeah.
All right, well done.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, the system's working. Michael's setting them up to Lee, and we've seen a couple of horses come up and win on a Saturday with decent Saturday form in Sydney, Spywire and then Magnetia. We'll just get a quick word from Jace, who'd been on this horse before. You had the alley today, Jace. You didn't have it first up on this guy in Sydney, but geez, it's good when you can draw nicely.
Yeah, that's right. He has a fair bit of class on a couple of these runners. Look, he needs to be cuddled up. He has sort of that short sprint, but around Doomben, sort of when a leader kicks on the turn, it sort of gives you a little bit, your heart sinks a bit. But look, he's put in a great sprint, and I think he'll be winning a few around here.
When did you think you were going to pick up Hold On Honey? Because he established a bit of a lead down the running.
Yeah, he did. And I sort of inclined to lay in a little bit. So, look, not until probably the last 100 I thought I've got him. Yeah.
Okay, well done.
No worries, thanks.
So Bunker Hutt in the Derby, Racing Silks getting the cash in race number 7, the benchmark 90, and Lee will have a chat with Michael to see what next, but that would be a good race. I think with his rating of 90 points, probably goes to 95, he'd probably get in pretty well in a race like a Whipwood handicap, which is...
Yoshino just moved. Now they steady. Still no break. Racing. Viminelli came out badly, about 4 to 5 lengths behind them, the third favourite. Code in Time, Weigel, Tiger, Tripodi, all began with purpose. Don Pedro showing speed, and Caspanova jumped well, but the jock just grabs hold to settle behind that leading division. Yoshino midfield away, then Substantial, Millionaire Baby, Disney Castle, Little Beginnings, and after a poor start, Viminelli has to do all the chasing. He's 4 away last. 900 left to run. Code in Time took over. Weigel, Tiger sits quietly in second, and Tripodi, it lands the box seat third position. Followed by Caspanova, the second favourite, near the rail, just in a bit of traffic there as Don Pedro went by it. Yoshino the fence, then Substantial, Disney Castle, Millionaire Baby, Little Beginnings and Viminelli. 8 lengths top end to tail. First split, slow, 45-47. Leader Code in Time gets a good run, but Weigel Tiger's right there. The favourite a neck away as they come to the turn. Tripodi trails the lead pair, then Don Pedro. Caspanova gives Weigel Tiger about 3 lengths start, and Substantial pull to the outside. The sprint goes on, 250 left to run. Weigel Tiger put pay to Code in Time. Caspanova gets out and gives good chase, and then came Tripodi. Weigel Tiger in front. Sutherland goes for the whip. He's clear. He's home, Weigel Tiger. Caspanova up for the Quinella, but Weigel Tiger too good. Beat home Caspanova, Substantial, Tripodi, and Code in Time. Don Pedro, Millionaire Baby, Yoshino, then Viminelli, followed by Disney Castle, and trailing them home Little Beginnings in 1:19.84.
Oh, Weigel gets the job done. $2.80, $1.50. Lay of the day. Went outside the lead and got the job done. Corey Sutherland, he's an apprentice on the rise, taking off the 3 kilograms in town. He is one of the most improved apprentices in Queensland by a long way in the last 6 to 12 months. His riding has improved that much that now he's coming to town. He's been getting some great opportunities on some very well fancied runners, and Kelly Schweida has put him aboard a Weigel Tiger, and he almost gave us a slight little smile there, Corey, across the line, because he intended to ride with cover this afternoon. I think looking at the speed map, there was a lot of people that expected him to roll straight to the front or sit outside the lead like he did. Corey summed it up perfectly. There were a few horses that did roll forward, but no one really wanted to lead heading around the turn. So Corey took up the decision to sit outside the lead, and I dare say it was a winning one as well, because as David mentioned, they backed off the tempo, and Weigel Tiger, he extended dominantly to put a very good margin on the opposition, paying $2.80, and the lay of the day gets the job done. Caspanova was good with the blinkers on. Substantials hit the line well to get home into third, I think, Maxi, and I think that Tripodi will get fourth. We'll confirm those numbers for you very shortly, but Kelly Schweida came here with some bullets to fire today, and he's got one right on target there.
He certainly has. Weigel Tiger having a freshen up, an encouraging trial. Kelly, what were you thinking at the start? You're in two minds. I heard you this morning, with how to ride him. I believe you gave Corey an A set and a B set of instructions.
And C and
C and
yeah. Look, plan A was to be sort of fifth, something like that, one off. But but it was a bad speed map. So like we said, if that doesn't work, you've got to do your own thing. But they didn't go very fast, and he pinged the leads, and I thought, oh, we're in a bit of trouble here. But he used his brain and went forward, got in a good spot, and he was too strong. I thought he had the best form in the race, but in the jump outs trials for a long time, we've been riding him quiet, and that's eventually what we want to do. But the kid used his brains and won well.
Yeah, because we're sort of worried a bit about him, like, you freshened him up at last preparation. I mean, he won a race here at the midweeks, I think, but it looks as though he's back on song now.
Yeah, look, he jumped out or trialled or whatever it was the other day, and I thought he went super. A bit like his old self. I think just got to keep him a little bit fresh. So the old days we used to run him 4 and 5 weeks apart. So we sent him out for a week, freshened up, and look, he looks good.
And what about Sunrays a little earlier? She went down fighting under the big weight. How did she come through that?
Yeah, look, she had a good blow. You always sort of want to put them horses away, but she did a bit of work early. It's not her go to be up that close to the lead, but it just worked out that way. We're in an awkward spot. I think she ran well. She really improved, and she's probably looking for 1,400 and further. So I'll just see how she pulls up, whether we still go to Sydney. I'll talk to Pete. But, look, she's a quality filly, and we can make all these shoots in the world, but you still want to see them beating them horses. But, I mean, if you're running on empty the last little bit, it doesn't matter what you're driving. If there's no fuel left, they run out of gas.
All right, well done with this guy.
Thank you.
All right, where is Corey? He's just debriefing all of the owners of Weigel Tiger. That's his 7th win from 21. Good strike rate, and Corey knows this horse quite well. You've been on him, his last 3 starts, including today, so you knew him well. Kelly was just talking to us about all the instructions and the discussions you had with how to ride him.
Yeah, obviously we wanted to ride him a bit back today and have something to chase. He's a better chaser than a front runner. Obviously we've seen that over the mile here, but the team's done a good job with him, and I trialled him here last Tuesday and he tried like an absolute jet. And as soon as we had something to chase today, I had a bunny to chase. He's just, he loves it. He's going good, and full credit to Kelly and the team. They're big supporters of me, and the team's going good.
He jumped well. He was right up there early, and then you probably looked across, and there were horses sort of kicking up. So was that when you made the decision?
Yeah, obviously his step's good. He's jumped good today, and there was probably 3 or 4 wide there for 100 metres, 150 metres, and just let him roll along so he's comfortable. He didn't want to overdo it, and we got into a nice spot, and he really put his head down and relaxed. So,
well done.
Thank you.
Good on you, Corey. Corey Sutherland on Weigel Tiger, 34.34 the last 600, 22.48, final 400, 119.69 overall. So they got it spot on. He was the well-tried favourite. Brodie declared him as the good thing of the day, and it's onwards and upwards and now for this guy.
Ready to break in the last 1,200 metres. Racing Brisbane, that was a starter's delight. They bounced as one. Hayoka, one of the first to go. Gospel Girls got speed, and Defiant Spirit third away as Gospel Girl scorches to the lead. Mintaka Lad going forward off the wide gate. Then Bright Blonde. Jump well, but has no early speed. Differential, Bonded Affair, they're all in a bunch. Aldefino just behind them. Then came Daytona and about to explode. The favourite settles down Stone Motherless last, but only about 5 off the lead. It's a bunch field. Down the side, 700 from the judge. Mintaka Lad outside of Gospel Girl, and Differential 3 wide outside the pair. Hayoka in 4, Defiant Spirit 5th the rail. First split in only 36 seconds. They haven't gone hard. Moving up was Daytona, Bonded Affair wide. Aldefino near the rail in traffic. Ditto for Bright Blonde, and about to explode if he's to win. Will have to come from last. In the straight, Gospel Girl leads Mintaka Lad, who's rustled up on the outside. Defiant Spirit behind them. Then Hayoka, Aldefino looking for a run. Bright Blonde next about to explode down the outside. Gospel Girl with 100 metres to go was the leader. About to explode is steaming home. The leader was Gospel Girl. About to explode is rushing home and got up. About to explode. Last to first and 4 for Thompson. Beat Gospel Girl, Aldefino. Hayoka not far away. Then Defiant Spirit, Bright Blonde, Mintaka Lad, Daytona, Bonded Affair, and Differential last home in 1:10.44.
5.10 a photo. The 11 over the 16 is what should potentially happen, and that low shot almost confirms it. But what an explosive turn of foot, about to explode, lives up to its name. During the race, Maxie and I, what we were thinking was Gospel Girl was able to cross lead, and we thought there'd be a bit more pressure on paper than there was. She was able to just truck along in front, got everything her own way. Emily Lang went for home at the perfect time, but the fact they went so slow allowed About to Explode, who was slowly away, to tack on without doing any work at all. Got that gun 3-wide running line. Benny Thompson edged the runner out of the way at the top of the straight. I think it was Daytona, and was able to extend strongly, and from about the 200 you were confident he'd be able to pick up the leader. That is an explosive win, and a horse that continues to improve under Queensland's premier trainer. And Benny Thompson, take a bow. He's ridden 4 winners this afternoon, and he's produced a pearler to get home About to Explode in the last. Gospel Girl's run great once again. She recorded back-to-back wins at Eagle Farm. Run second this afternoon, but Connections must be thrilled with the form she's in. Maxie's value pick of the day, very unlucky. We thought there'd be a bit more pace on paper, and Adolfitos picked up late to get home into third. That horse didn't quite have the turn of foot as the others did, so look for that horse to get a bit more ground and at least a bit more tempo to allow him to work into the race. And Hayoka, I think it has run fourth. We're just awaiting for the numbers. There we go. 5, 10, 11 and 16. I think we're only a short time away from the Group 1. We get to see Rothfire go around. Golden Boom as well for Tony Golan, but that caps off a very good day for the stable. Cav's with you now, is he, Maxie?
Just having a look at the last 600, 33.8. So what does that mean for About to Explode?
Mikey's a very, very smart racehorse, as you see here this afternoon. Like a slow, they never went hard in the first half of the race, and where he was, you thought he was in an impossible position, but he's got a brilliant final sprint, and he showed it here today.
Yeah, just when we sort of exercise, analyse the sectional splits there, he's probably, I don't know, what has he broken? 33. Amazing. So that wasn't the plan, to be back there last?
No, I think Benny was a little bit of a victim there, just a couple there sort of over-racing in front of him, so he done the right thing and took him back, kept him out of trouble, kept him in a good rhythm, and brought him to the best part of the track, and he put him away.
Well, he's back in good order. He's always had a lot of ability, this horse, but seemingly maturing all the time.
Yeah, he had a few issues early days, and finally starting to grow up and put it all together.
And Gospel Girl almost pulled off a hat-trick of Metropolitan wins. She led for a long way. Yeah,
this girl's racing real good at the moment. You wouldn't believe she won a maiden here one day, paid $81, and you're thinking, sort of at home we were thinking, we doubt if she'd win a Metro race, but, she nearly put 3 together.
It's been a big day for the stable.
Yes, it's been a good day, 3 here and then 1 at the coast, so we got 5 runners tonight at Toowoomba, and they've got the big horse going around to Moonee Valley in about 5 minutes.
Golden Boom. All right, let's go and watch it.
Thank you.
Craig Kavanagh looking after Tony's runners today while he's at Moonee Valley with Golden Boom. Now here's Ben Thompson. He's been the star of the day with 4 winners. You've had to come from last, Ben. Tell me what happened at the start, or what's the intention to sort of ride him quietly like that?
No, definitely not. I drew barrier 5, which can be a little awkward in a smallish field of 10. To be honest, in my head, I thought of the 4 inside me, I thought there's 3 that would take up a spot in the first 4, being Defiant Spirit, Hayoka and Bright Blonde. When Bright Blonde looked to keep its powder dry, I thought, it's thrown me a curveball here, but I thought I could ride him with a lot of confidence, and once they slowed up and they were racing 3 and 4 abreast, I really only had 4 lengths to make up. Knowing how well he won last time and the field he gave me then, I knew Gospel Girl would take an effort to run down, but he proved he was too good today.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's been a good day for Ben Thompson. Some good winners. He rode Soul of Spain, who looks really smart. We're probably going to lose him back to Chris Wallace Stables in Sydney. Rode Piggyback, the Sydney Cider, Exceed Speed for Tony, and then a big booming finish with About to Explode in the last.